The other day, Elon Musk announced that he was leaving the Trump administration after his time as a special government employee ran out. He only had so many days that he could be in office without being confirmed by the Senate, and so he's gone. But after that, he made it very clear, in part, why he was ready to leave. And apparently, even Trump has acknowledged today that it's very possible that his relationship with Elon Musk has come to an end. Elon Musk announced the other day that he was sick of the bill that they passed through the U.S. House. Now, I've talked at length on how bad this bill is for the nation, how it hurts the elderly, hurts the poor, hurts the disabled, hurts the LGBTQ community, hurts hungry children. Right? We've talked about all these things, and but Elon Musk isn't mad that those cuts are being made. He's actually mad that those cuts weren't cut deeper into those people's lives. Elon Musk wanted to cut everything from every social program that helped anybody in this country. He's also mad because the tax cuts don't give him as big of a break as he would have liked. So Elon Musk doesn't care that the cuts that he made to Doge and the cuts he was wanting to make in the budget um, weren't done, right? That they didn't hurt Americans enough is his belief. And he didn't get enough of a tax break and didn't get enough money thrown his way in that budget bill. So he doesn't care if you or I starve. He doesn't care if Granny goes homeless. He doesn't care about that. He only cares about himself. Now, I agree. We have a lot of spending issues in this country. You ask me, we spend more money on our military than we should. We could actually save a lot of money by bringing down the amount of money we send to the military. Now, before people jump on here and try to be like, oh, you hate the military. No, I don't hate the military. I have two brothers that served in the Marine Corps. Had a grandfather that served in the Marine Corps, if I recall. And I've known several friends that have served in Iraq, Afghanistan. I have a lot of respect for the military. And if all the money we were sending to the military was actually being spent on the enlisted soldiers, I wouldn't have such a problem with it. But you see, we don't spend our money on giving raises to the troops and improving their care or improving the outcomes we have with the VA. Right? We don't do that with the money we send to the military. But we spend more than the next 5 nations combined in military spending. And I understand you need research and development to create, new things to keep the country safe. I get that. But even the military itself has said we don't need this money. And even President Eisenhower warned us against the rise of the military-industrial complex. So, that's a place where we can find some funds, cut some funds. But if we don't want to do that, and I totally detest any idea of cutting funding for food stamps, housing assistance, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. You know how we could fix some of these problems that are in these programs? Go after the people that are committing fraud. Right? Go after those committing fraud. You don't have to cut people that are doing things the right way. You don't have to make cuts to them. Just get rid of the fraud, right? Here's the problem, though. When it comes to things like food stamps, it's $1.67 for most taxpayers a year as of 2023. So maybe $1.75 now a year from every taxpayer to cover the food stamp program. For HUD housing, almost every dollar spent returns every $2 spent sends $1 back into the government as in the form of taxes, and people have the money to spend, so the economy doesn't crash, right? But these things they do have fraud in them, less than 3% most of the time, and food stamps I think is less than 2%, maybe 1.5%, and there's ways to go about that without cutting the funding for other people that need it. But you want to know how we get out of this? How we solve some of this problem? Quit giving billionaires tax cuts. Billionaires and millionaires don't need tax cuts. They have plenty of money. They will survive. At the end of the day, all the cuts that Elon Musk made didn't save the budget any money. And people are going to say, well, $100 billion is a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money to you. It's a lot of money to me. But in terms of the overall U.S. budget, it's nothing. $100 billion is nothing when you're looking at $4 trillion of a budget. That's like me looking at a $10 bill and being like, "Oh, I don't know if I should spend that on that. That's $10." That's the same equivalent. It's chump change to the overall budget. So it didn't save us anything, and half the things he did were already contracts the government had to pay out if they got canceled. So how did that save us any money? But like I said, the easiest way to solve this problem is to tax a billionaire. You want things to be like they used to be, where we have the money to fund great um, projects like, international highway system, great education, tax a billionaire. They're not going to miss it. I promise you. Elon Musk is worth $400 billion. Do you really think he's going to miss a few $1 million extra in his taxes? No, he's not. Could that extra million or $2, maybe 2 or 3 million extra dollars, help starving children? Could it help fund one of the greatest education systems in the world? Yes. Yes, it could. But these greedy people don't want to help. They just want to sit there and bitch about their money being taxed. But I live in a state where Tesla chose not to come because there aren't enough educated people. They were talking about building a plant in either Austin or Tulsa, and they didn't choose Tulsa because there weren't enough educated people. Now, Texas, until recently, was a pretty good state for education, at least in some places, when it came to higher education. But that's kind of waning nowadays. But anyhow, that's what's going on right now. Elon Musk has left the Trump administration. They had a bit of a falling out after he left. And even Trump thinks that it's possible that their relationship may have come to an end. Now, let's see. We will see down the road how bad this gets. If there's a bigger fallout than just an amicable split, or if Elon starts putting out the truth of what happened during that campaign. Anyways, watch this space, and I'll see you down the road.